Hey, this is Greyheart with Game Master Tools, and I just wanted to show you this new module I've created. If we go over here to the Sun and Cloud Random Weather Generator, is exactly what it says it is. It's basically a set of automated roll tables. Instead of rolling dice and looking up the result, you set things up, you click a button, and it tells you exactly what you get. I have it set up for about a dozen different biomes, basically everything from a polar cap to equatorial rainforests, from ocean shores to mountaintops. You could find it in here somewhere. So for example, if we go to humid continental, now what season? Let's go with spring. What part of the season? Early spring, humid continental. Okay. Click generate weather, and it gives you, and it tells you right here in under result, it tells you what you're rolling. Humid continental, early spring. Down here is the base weather. It's a cold snap. So early spring, highs below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, -1 centigrade, nights below freezing. Okay, cold snap. If you don't like that, you can re-roll it. Breezy and cool. Chilly winds, highs 40 to 55 degrees. Let's say your party moves on to Alpine. So they're in the mountains. And let's say that it's now summer, and yeah, early summer will work. So let's generate the weather. Freeze-thaw cycle, high peaks. Warm days, soften snow, nights freeze solid. So what it's telling you is that it's going to be treacherous in the mountains, because if there's snow, it's going to freeze at night. It's going to thaw during the day, which means it's going to be slick, hard to walk through, and then it's going to refreeze the next night. Perfect for making your party's life miserable. Now, let's go and let's get out of the mountains. Let's go to Mediterranean, and let's say that it's coastal and midsummer. So we're on the coast of a Mediterranean weather. Okay, so much closer to the equator. All right, so the base weather is clear and very hot. Highs 100 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 to 41 degrees centigrade. Oppressive heat. So it gives you a really good idea of how to explain this to your players. And the coastal modifier says clear and cool. Cool for if it's at the polar coasts, but clear, definitely clear. And so it's saying, so if you're, yeah, so again, so this is one of those, because I'm using a roll table for the coastal stuff, it's separate from the main roll tables, so it can give you contradictory information. Here it's saying highs are 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Here it's saying it's 100 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So at this point, this is probably a reroll, or you could simply ignore the coastal modifier and look at the feature notes. Okay, coastal cliffs and fjords, fog and mist, much denser and longer lasting. That could happen on a hot day, especially early in the morning. Wind funnels, strong gusts through narrow valleys and fjords. Okay, that makes sense. Storm surge, sea spray, and flooding risk greater. That makes sense for this time of year as well. So it does work. You have to be, you may have to ignore some of the information you get. Let's re-roll this and see what it gives us. Clear and hot, light rain showers. That one's not bad. That one works together. So highs 90 to 100. Passing coastal showers, short-lived, and then it gives you, again, this information I believe remains the same with each roll, because you've got the coastal checked. It's giving you some basic feature notes to be aware of. If we uncheck that and go to rivers, and let's check this one. So now it's clear and hot. Let's try that again. There we go. Strong winds. Hot gusty winds whip across dry fields. Feature notes. So this only gives you feature notes. And it rivers, lakes, and wetlands. Moisture buffer tells you what to expect in the winter. We're looking at summer, so that's no problem. Summer. Afternoon thunderstorms are more common. So as the day progresses, you're going to want to bring in a thunderstorm and completely drench your players. Have them run for shelter. Turn that off. Turn on anomaly. So let's roll this. Base weather is clear and hot. 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 to 38 centigrade. Blazing sun, dry air. No anomaly. The anomaly is a D100, and if I remember correctly, it's a 20% chance of an anomaly happening. And because it's a straight D100, you're going to find that a lot of times, like the coastal, it may come up with contradictory information. So let's re-roll this to see what we get. There we go. Clear and warm. Highs 80 to 90 degrees, 27 to 32 degrees centigrade. Milder coastal weather. Well, we're not on the coast, but that's okay. We're probably close to a coast. Drought spell. So several days or weeks that are unusually dry. That goes with this. Like I said, because it's a straight D100, this anomaly, if it comes up, may completely contradict. So you may be, for example, you may be in the middle of summer in the desert, and you roll an anomaly, and it says freak blizzard. Well, that's probably not going to happen in the desert. So it's up to the GM's discretion to decide whether or not that's going to work. And again, if you don't like it, you re-roll. And as I said, all of this can be sent to you as the GM as a whisper, so that you can have an audit trail, so that if your players ask, hey, what was the weather like 3 days ago, you can actually look back and see. Now, if we go into game controls, let me drop that down, go into game controls, and we look down here for random weather generator, which is right here, and membership token, and all right, premium subscription. This turns green, and what this does is it now will use the weather overlays that come with Foundry so that you can actually see the weather. And I've also set it up so that if you have even the free version of FX Master controls, it will use FX Master effects as well. So let's stick with let's go with humid continental, summer, mild, and generate and see what it says. All right, so it's saying partly cloudy, puffy clouds, highs 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, now, but I want to see this. Well, if you activate the weather overlay, you get clouds, you get birds. There will be some crows and some eagles. Interesting that that bird happened to fly underneath that token. That's interesting. And it just gives you a little more. That was a crow right there. It gives you a little more interest. This allows your players to be more immersed in the game. Okay? And if it gives you something that's just way too weird, just click on clear weather, and immediately it clears everything out. Now the birds, like I said, the birds and the crows and stuff, that was weather generated by FX Master. The clouds were generated by Foundry's inbuilt system. Well, they can be. Well, rephrase that. They can be. Let's go and roll another one. Clear and hot, that's just going to give us birds. Breezy and warm. That might give us something interesting. Oh yeah, there's the leaves. So it's breezy and warm, so we've got leaves blowing around the map. So for $1 a month, it gives you the ability to actually show your players, and you as the GM, click activate weather overlay. So if you roll something that you don't like, you don't have to add it. But let's say steady rain. Well, let's see what this does. Huh, there's the rain. And, a couple of birds, because technically they wouldn't be in the rain, but it's steady rain. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, but I can see the rain across the screen, and I can see the rain hitting the ground. So this will give you and your players a really good idea of what the weather's doing. And really, this makes playing a lot more interesting because they can actually see the weather. They can't conveniently forget about it. So when they walk outside, they're going to say, oh, wait, it's raining. And so they're going to run from place to place because they don't want to get wet. So that's really what I've got. Let me come down here and pull up the website. You come to the website and you go to modules, and it will list all the modules that I will have. This is the first module, and it gives you a description, and you can either download the free version, or you can come up here, and for $1 a month you can subscribe to any module, $1 per month per module. I also offer annual subscriptions, so instead of $12 a year, if you buy the annual, it's $10 a year. And that's what we're doing. Is I just got this new module, and I thought that I would show it to you and let you know that it's there and show you what it can do. Anyway, have a good day.